Hi everyone. Okay, so we were a couple of days late on this live because we were stuck in horrendous traffic on the M25 a couple of days ago. Sorry, I'm just going to get the video up so that we. There we go. And then, right, okay, then we can see everyone's comments if people want to join in with the chat. Yeah, so we were stuck in horrendous traffic on the M25 on Wednesday when I was meant to be doing my live, so we're doing it now instead. And I've called in Will because when Louise had Jack on hers on Tuesday, I think it was, I thought it was really good actually to see the men getting involved because, you know, I don't think they get a bad press with baby wearing, but it's not the norm. So you baby wear a bit, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So, you know, I thought it would be good to bring him in. So we're talking today about baby wearing in new places. So when you go maybe abroad or you go to a different city or town, and the kind of benefits of baby wearing instead of taking your pushchairs and buggies and stuff.
Sheila says hi.
Oh, hi Sheila. Yeah, so I mean, we've travelled abroad three times now, 2 like week holidays,
Yep.
And a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken the buggy on 2 of those trips. I think he was 3 months. Was it the October?
Yeah.
So
Spain.
3 months old, and we went to
not so sunny Spain.
Yeah, it wasn't so sunny Spain. And we took our big travel system with us. Mainly, I think, because we were worried about whether there was going to be shade, and he was quite small, and we were worried about the heat and stuff. And we did use it a bit on that holiday, but we did wear him as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
You wore him in the evenings.
Yeah, he was a lot less mobile back then.
Yeah,
so it's quite
this is
good.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like, I mean, now he's walking, so but yeah, so we did take it, and we did use it, but it was a bit of a nightmare on the beach. We found can't push a buggy on the beach.
It's like those massive wheels that don't fit in the car.
Yeah, but we won't tell you about our. Well, actually, maybe we should just quickly go into that because it is another reason why we baby wear quite well. Actually, we started off, we changed our car, didn't we? Because our buggy system wouldn't fit in the boot of our car. So instead of just changing our buggy system, we changed our whole car. lost quite a lot of money in the process of selling our brand new car. Also that we could fit the buggy in the boot, basically. And now we baby wear probably 99.9% of the time, and I haven't used it anyway.
No, we sold it now. Yeah,
we've sold the travel system. The travel system's gone. We have got a small buggy, but again, I think I've used it three times.
That was in the garage for 3 months.
Yeah, so our car went into the garage for 3 months, and the buggy was in the boot. So yeah, it wasn't even here for 3 months, so we couldn't have used it if we wanted to. But yeah, so Spain, I think we did use it. We used it around the pool, which was quite good, just in case we couldn't get but I mean, it was off season anyway. It was October, so there was plenty of shade and you know, a little bit of rain, and wasn't the hottest weather, but we were glad to have it for a bit of shade. But yeah, I think when we went to the beach, it was rubbish.
Yeah. There's a stony beach like in Brighton.
So shingly, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just kind of.
So we couldn't push it on the beach. So we only went a short distance into the beach before we stopped and gave that up. But I think we found even pushing it down to the beach that you had to find the ramps, like, because the curbs,
the notorious curbs of Spain, which are like about half a foot wide.
Yeah,
and then you're into your road.
Yeah, so we were walking in the road a bit with it and stuff. So, and it was a bit of a nightmare. I think I remember going to, was it Wagamama's for something to eat in the airport, and then we had to, like, you know, everyone wants to eat in the airport before they get on their flight. So trying to kind of get a place for us to sit and have a buggy, and you know, I think when you meet in restaurants, even just your immediate family, and then you meet like other people in restaurants, like groups of people, if they've got children with buggies, where do you put the buggies?
Yeah, like in a crowded restaurant when there's not many seats.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes the only seats available are the ones that haven't got a buggy space.
Mm.
So if you haven't got a buggy,
Yeah.
just slip right on in there.
Yeah. So
yeah, Sally waves.
Hi, Sally.
Tell I'm new to this.
Yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have a co-host. Yeah, so I think in Spain we did use our buggy a little bit, but it was good to wear, especially in the evenings. If we went out to the entertainment in the hotel and stuff, again, the buggy situation was a bit of a pain, wasn't it? Because it was like an outdoor bar with lots of tables and chairs. Again, you could barely kind of slip around yourself, let alone get buggies around and stuff. So actually wearing him, made it a lot easier. And he could go to sleep, we could watch the entertainment. It wasn't stuck in our room, you know, at a certain time.
It was cold as well, and he was warm.
Yeah, it was cold in the evenings. Yeah, really cold. And yeah, he was tucked in, warm. And actually, a lot of people did say, "Oh, you know, what a great idea." A couple of couples stopped us, didn't they, and said, "Oh, he looks really cozy, and you know, what a great idea, and you're not stuck in your room, and all of that kind of thing." So yeah, actually, it enabled us to go out with the teenager, because we've got a teenager and a very young baby. So I mean, you just can't sit in with a teenager, it just doesn't work. So it was quite nice. She was having a hot chocolate Baileys, and
no, she was having
one
non-alcoholic based
yeah,
chocolate drink. I think
we could get out, and also I think just going around the grounds of that hotel, like, you know, you had to go certain routes with the buggy.
Yeah,
but if you didn't have it, go wherever you like, kind of thing.
So it was good because we didn't really know. It was a bit of a last minute holiday. We said like, oh, if something comes up that's cheap enough, we'll go. So we hadn't really done too much research. We just went there, and so yeah, it wasn't like the most baby friendly thing, but it didn't matter. You know, you had to go up upstairs and then back down to get to certain bits, but it didn't matter.
And there was a lift, luckily. So when we did take the buggy out, we were all right, but I would have hated to have been, because I think I find if I go out, even to my local town, let alone new towns, cities, abroad, whatever, trying to find lifts or ramps, I just find that such a pain. I just want to go where I want to go. I don't want to be going around a route because I've got a buggy and I know I can't go down the escalator or, you know, the steps or whatever, or there's a big queue for the lift. Like shopping centres are notorious for that, aren't they? Massive queues, and you can just smugly hashtag sting smart.
Oh, yeah.
That's Will's favourite thing. Hashtag smart, both of us. Yeah, you just kind of go, oh, I'll leave that queue and I'll wander downstairs or I'll get on the escalator.
And you can take your holiday, you know, selfie to infuriate people if you haven't got your hands on the buggy.
Yeah, that's very true. The airport, actually, I think a sling in an airport is probably the handiest thing. I mean, a couple of times we have had to take him off through security. So Will's gone through first and they've sent him back, and then he's taken the baby through, and then I've walked through and whatever. Actually, sometimes they'll just let you go through. So it's really handy because you're not, I mean, it's bad enough when you're trying to empty your pockets out and you're worrying about whether there's any liquids in your hand luggage, whether you've taken your hat off, whether you're wearing a belt, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then you're also trying to juggle a baby, or you're trying to keep hold of a toddler. So yeah,
actually, on the second time when we had that buggy, we were like, "Can you just take it now?"
Yeah,
we had to take it to the plane, and they wanted us to.
Oh no, I think. Oh no, that was Belfast. Yeah, that we checked it in. Like, because we just didn't want to deal with the pushchair in the airport. It's just too much. No, we didn't take it to Belfast. We didn't take
that's what I'm saying.
It must have been.
We went to Spain. I think.
Was it Zante?
Oh, it was Zante. Yes.
It was Zante. Yeah, we just checked it in straight away when we got to the airport to get rid of it.
I've got some messages.
Oh, go on then.
From Sally.
From Sally.
Said, I went on holiday buggy free with a ring sling and one woven wrap when my boy was 5 months old.
Yay.
Love heart eyeballs. It meant I could look after Jake in his wheelchair too.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, I would go buggyless and be a buggyless family, but if we did have to leave him with like my mum or your mum or another family member, the old school generations of our family wouldn't. I mean, you baby wear, I baby wear, Olivia baby wears, but yeah, I feel like if we went buggyless, and then we did have to give him to someone for a day or something in an emergency, or something that we'd plan or whatever. I feel like we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot, because they're not going to vote, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe
Really?
maybe
They didn't
in the
have another
future.
choice.
Yeah, maybe we
We're
should
giving too much freedom.
Yeah, maybe we are.
Just
Maybe we
leave
should
them with a
just-
sling and a baby and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
Try and find a baby tied up somewhere.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, so that was our holiday in Spain, and I think that we did use it a bit on that holiday. When we took it to Zante, I don't actually remember taking it out at all. I don't think we used it once. Actually, I was just remembering, when we went to Spain, we took the train to the airport as well, and he slept from us leaving the house to getting to the airport. So that whole train journey, he was actually just asleep, and that made travelling so much easier, because we weren't having to entertain him, we weren't having to think about feeding him. So the whole travelling bit was really good. And although I was told I needed to take him out, I think he was in a stretcher that time. I had to take him out to do the seatbelt and everything for the safety. He did manage to stay asleep when I got him out. Oh, and then as an epic punami, snappy,
I mean,
takeoff.
there's a slight pressure change in the plane at takeoff. And
it was probably a good thing he wasn't in the sling at that point, because that could have been a disaster.
I think also, like, I don't know, maybe because if he was in a pushchair, like when we were on the plane, it was really easy, like, to then hold him or whatever and walk up and down and keep him occupied.
Yeah.
Whereas if he was used to being in a pushchair, like, you can't exactly push a pushchair.
No, not that you'd be allowed it in that bit, but
no, but you know, so there might, I don't know, it might be a bit more fussy. Whereas he's really quite happy to be held. Even now, like, he's pretty happy at being, like, held rather than, like, needing to go down.
We haven't quite reached that point yet where he's having a bit of a rap strike, and I hope we don't meet that point. Really, that would be really nice. If because at the moment I'm quite enjoying the fact that friends of mine who have got children around the same age, even if they do babywear, are having to run around after the toddler because they want to get down. And at the moment, Marty's not quite at that point, so I'm still a bit sling smug in that I could just pop him in, and if I want him to get down, obviously I'd just take him out and let him down, and he's fine and he'll do that. But yeah, so that was our Spain holiday, I think. And then so Zante, we didn't use it at all. And I think at that point we sort of thought, I don't know why we felt the need to take a buggy. And I think it's just that thing that generations and generations have been using buggies, and we've got used to it being the norm. And so we felt, we just felt like we had to kind of take it, really. And after not using it, and I think we spent a lot of the time putting bags on it when we were doing the actual travelling bit, and then didn't use it while we were there at all.
Also, I think like on the first flight they said, you can have 3 items. You can have like a buggy, a car seat, and travel cart. But then when we've gone on other ones and going to different places, they said, you can only have 2 things, or you can only have 1 thing. So of course, if you haven't got your buggy, you've got like 1 more. Like if the car seat is probably like a more essential thing, then you don't want to be giving that up because you've got a buggy there. So it's it's nice that you don't have to impinge on your choice of items that you can take.
And in
free.
fact, we've never taken a car seat, because even when we took our travel system, we didn't take the car seat bit because I was a bit worried about chin's chest. We took the bigger bit, didn't we?
Yeah, the bassinet bit.
Yeah. But actually, when we were in Zante, we did end up going on a day trip, and a car came to pick us up. And although we had explained that we had a young child with us, they just turned up in a car, because I don't think it's quite so safety conscious out there. So actually, the fact
it wasn't even the right car to begin with.
No, it was.
We ended up halfway across Zante.
Yeah, it was a bit of a questionable quality car. So we were a little bit like, don't know whether we should be doing this. But when you've booked a day trip out and everyone's ready to go and stuff, you kind of just go with it. And actually, I was wearing him, and that was really handy, because I didn't worry so much, because if I was trying to kind of just juggle him in my arms, I'd have felt.
And then we went on a boat trip, so that was easy to get onto.
Yeah, because I just
even though everyone was like doing a slow hand clap for us as we turned up late, and
we could quickly get onto the boat.
And then we had to get off the boat, like if you want to go onto the beach. So you know, like it's just really easy.
It just made it so much easier. So we didn't worry. So safety was. But I think when you're away from home, I mean, sometimes I don't know what he'd be like now, because how old was he when we went to Zante? That was this year, so it was just under a year, wasn't it? It was the June, wasn't it? It was 11 months. So he's probably still a little bit unaware of stuff, but I actually think that they stay a lot calmer, and you know, they're happier because you're wearing them and they're used to being worn. And it's, I think if he was out there in a buggy and we were pushing him in front of us in a place that he didn't know, he might not be as.
I can't really remember any meltdowns in that trip. I mean, you know, obviously everyone's a bit more relaxed when you're on a holiday, so that probably rubs off on them. But
you're right. I think he was fighting, you know, kiting our stuff to and from the pool. I mean, luckily in Zante we had a pool right outside our room, just like a small one, which we stayed in most of the time, to be honest. But traveling backwards and forwards to the pool when you've got a bag full of stuff and towels and, you know, your sun lotions and your hats and all that sort of stuff, and then you're picking up a drink as you're going past the bar and all of that kind of stuff, it was just so much easier just to be wearing him. And then we did a long weekend in Belfast in the July. So we went away in June on a family holiday for a week, and then Belfast for a long weekend in the July. And we just didn't take the buggy. I mean, we was only going for the weekend, but I just think by that point we'd realised we're not going to use it.
That's good, because then I had a free hand to take a bag of monkeys.
That is true. We should explain that. So we went.
Declared just this bag of monkeys.
We went for a cake smash. That sounds ridiculous that we went to Belfast for a cake smash.
Yeah, without context.
It is. But the lady who did our newborn shoot with Marty, a couple of months after doing that newborn shoot, moved to Belfast, and we kind of flippantly went, oh, well, maybe if we've got to do a cake smash when he's a year old, we'll just go to Belfast, and kind of laughed about it. And then we kind of got nearer the day and we looked it all up and we thought, well, that's quite expensive, maybe we won't do that. And then I was paid my holiday pay for not returning after my maternity pay. So actually we came into a little bit of money that we weren't really expecting.
Coming back, quick, pay her.
Yeah. Pay us come back before she changes her mind. But so we had a little bit of money and we thought, well, actually,
and it was our anniversary.
Oh, it was our it was our wedding, our first wedding anniversary. We got married when Marty was 2 weeks old. Should have been 3 weeks old, but it was a week late. So that I think we were mad. What were we doing at that point? Having a baby, getting married, it was all crazy. But it was our first anniversary as well. So we thought, actually, and did Olivia go away?
She was with her dad, I think. Yeah,
I think Olivia was going away with her dad for a weekend. So we actually thought, we've got an opportunity, we'll go, the three of us. So we took him and his bag full of monkeys for his cake smash.
Jungle themed cake smash.
Yeah, jungle themed cake smash. Quite right. So we just took the Joy Joe linen ring sling, which was perfect. And we did a long coach trip, didn't we? A full day coach trip, which at times was a little bit hectic sitting on a coach with him. We didn't quite think that through, I don't think. We just thought it'd be really nice. We wanted to see the Giant's Causeway mainly, and then it was kind of a Game of Thrones tour as well.
Whatever that is.
We don't watch Game of Thrones. I've never watched the second.
Quite popular.
Game of Thrones, but the scenery was lovely, so it was nice. But again, so we were on a coach, so quite a lot of the time I wore him. Some of the time I took him out because he just he'd had enough of being in there all the time. But actually, he slept through the whole of the Giant's Causeway.
Yeah. The whole thing. For the whole thing. And then slept through the Giant's Causeway.
That couple of hours we were at the Giant's Causeway in the ring sling, which was great. So I was climbing around on the Giant's Causeway, literally climbing around on the Giant's Causeway with him in a ring sling. I mean, I couldn't have done that with a buggy. No. I mean, you climbed further, to be fair, but I thought I did quite well.
That's because you wanted that shot, didn't you? You were going, go a little bit further.
Go a bit higher. Yeah. Get a selfie. I'm just in the background, a dot.
Just stand on one leg. You can do the shot. Yeah.
But yeah, so he slept for the whole night, which was great because Well, I don't know. I think if he'd have fallen asleep in the buggy, I would have. Well, I would have just had to have stayed by the coach or for that couple of hours, and not.
For me, you know.
Well, yeah, yeah, okay, or well, maybe we would have taken it turns. Maybe I'd have gone there first, then whatever. But yeah, we just that day would have been a bit of a write-off, I think, if we weren't baby wearers really. And then a couple of evenings, because we didn't book any food or anything at the hotel that we stayed at, because it was only a couple of nights. So I think we did get an Nando's takeaway.
Popular chicken.
Oh yeah, okay. I think you're allowed to say that. I'm not.
Yeah, right, okay.
Other chicken restaurants are available just in case. Anyway, but we picked that up on the way back, and he was asleep, and we managed to transfer him onto the bed, which was quite successful. He slept, we ate, really good. And then like a couple of times we went into restaurants and stuff.
Nando's dinner for the anniversary. Don't say I'm not last romantic.
No, that's fine. But yeah, like if we'd had him in a buggy, like I don't think we would have successfully got him to the bed as well. I don't know, maybe we would have done. I mean, I'm not a buggy user, mate. I'm not against buggies, by the way. I have used them. I probably will use them again. But yeah, I just think that the Babywearing is easier stuff. Yeah,
just hands free, isn't it?
It is. Hands free life.
And you can just continue jiggling them. You look slightly deranged.
I do that anyway. Yeah. So even if I hand him over to someone, I still do the swaying thing or the jigging. Yeah, I think that's just a bit of an inbuilt thing now.
Yeah. Whereas if you've got a push, you kind of like push.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is that because I breastfeed, as long as it's not freezing cold temperatures or whatever, I can do that on the go with him, which I find much easier as well. So I don't have to keep trying to find somewhere to sit down, get loads of layers off and all that sort of thing, as long as I'm accessible for my boob. And I do try and think about what I'm wearing, for Babywearing and for feeding as well. So that does make that easier. So yeah, you don't have to keep stopping and stuff. You can kind of do that on the go, which is also really handy. I don't know what other things.
I said no question.
I mean, I think it has been. I mean, especially for that first holiday in Spain. Mm-hmm. I think you being able to take him for a couple of hours in the evening whilst we were watching entertainment and jig him about a bit and whatever was really quite helpful, because that gave me a bit of a break and a bit of a holiday as well, which was quite nice. Have we got any questions? I don't know if anyone's got any good travel experiences. It can be.
Sorry. The thing. I've got.
Sack him.
Paris is watching.
Oh, hi Paris.
Jenny's watching. Jenny's just got back to bed, so she's just joined us.
Lovely.
And she's loving the honeycomb.
Oh yes.
Goes beautifully with a chair.
Oh, it does go beautifully with a chair. So mustard is one of my.
Little thing?
Yeah, I know. It's great. I didn't know that Joe and Joe were doing any releases this part of the year, so I didn't think I'd get a wrap named after me, but this is beautiful. Yeah, honeycomb is lovely, and mustard is definitely one of my favourite colours. So this
comes to the house. There's a theme.
Yeah, there's a grey and yellow theme for grey and mustard that runs through most of our house. So it was perfect that I got the mustard one, and that wasn't even any input from me. It was just what they chose, but that was perfect. Yeah, I love it. It does need a bit of breaking in. I am getting there with breaking in, because it is a little bit thicker, a little bit stiffer, but it's perfect for winter. I love it. Yeah, it's really lovely. So yeah, anyone got any? It can be travelling around your.
Questions no questions.
It can be travelling around your local towns as well.
Not in the salt and pepper way, being places.
Yeah.
We go loads, like not just holidays.
No,
but, we're
day trips out.
Yeah, we've been to Sheffield Park.
We have just been to Sheffield Park. And he's not. I mean, he's walking, and he has been walking a little while now. Probably just over, probably a month and a half or so. And maybe 2 months now. Don't know, but coming up to 2 months. But he's not very stable when he's out and about. He still likes to hold our hand and stuff. So. Yeah, we are.
Shoes that you bought him.
It's not the shoes. It's the Clark's shoes. Please So, will you tell
Oh,
my
no,
husband?
I was talking about your little moccasin things you bought.
Oh no, so I right.
Anyway,
Okay.
this is not part of the thing.
No, because, no, because it is a part of the travelling, because you do have to think about what they're wearing and stuff. So after Sheffield Park, I did have my big coat on around us and stuff, but I did feel that his feet and his lower legs were quite cold from the wearing and stuff. So I just thought, I saw these lovely little booties that are fake fur lined in H&M. They're little foxes. Don't know whether anyone else has got them. The Velcro tab at the back is actually the fox's tower. They are the cutest things. They weren't expensive. I think they were £7. I bought them with my money. Will thinks they're an extravagant buy, but I think it's part of travelling with Babywearing. Because he's got Clark's shoes and he's got wellies, but if I do put him on the floor and he walks around, he gets muddy, and then I pick him up and I wear him, and then I get covered in mud. So I either I normally take the shoes off because I don't want to be covered in mud. I'm not one of them people. But I take the shoes off, and then his feet get cold. So it's that time of year. It's getting colder, so therefore you need some little slipper things. And he's been wearing them around the house and he loves them. Brings them to me all the time.
Case closed.
So has anyone got any good experience of sort of, or anything they want to share? Public transport, actually, haven't touched on public transport. It's great for getting on and off to trains. I see people struggle all the time with their buggies on and off to trains and buses equally.
Or you forget it, you leave it on train.
I've not done that, but I
mean the buggy.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you meant, but I have left my changing bag on a train before. So yeah, I was coming back from Brighton with Joe, who volunteers at our Sling Library with me, and I just got off, was wearing the baby, didn't even think about the fact that I'd had a backpack on. I didn't even feel like I'd taken it off because I felt like I still had it on. And then a guy came up to me and went, would you have left a bag on the train? And at first I was like, no. And then I thought, oh, no, actually, yes, I have.
Lucky it wasn't destroyed. That could have been a major incident, right?
I mean, I don't know. I suppose you just saw that I was with a friend with a baby, and there was me with a baby and no bag, and my friend had a bag. So obviously, I'd left it on the train, and I had. Yeah. But anyway, that's not really baby related. But well, it is baby related, just not Babywearing related. But yeah, buggies on and off of public transport. And then I remember, Louise, actually, when you did your live, talking about how bus drivers can refuse you entry if there's already a couple of buggies or wheelchairs or whatever on the bus already. And I hadn't even thought about that. It's not something that would have ever have crossed my mind. But yeah, I just jump on and off of. Oh, I can hear Marty at the bottom of the stairs. Have you got him, Liv? Sorry about that. But yeah, so I just get on and off. Baby's where he was when I got on. I don't know.
And let's face it, if you're getting trains in Brighton, you're probably getting a bus anyway.
Well, that's true. That is true. So public transport, I definitely find it much easier.
If you go on like a crowded train as well.
Yeah, I think our first trip out with Marty, he was 2 days old, and we only went into town. I think we just went into town for coffee and a little walk around. And actually, I was going like, oh no, we'd need to load all the buggy into the car and everything. And Will was going, well, we're just going to wear them, aren't we? And I don't actually know why that didn't immediately cross my mind, but it was Will that pointed that out. No, we're just going to wear them. What are you talking about? But I definitely think if you are, if you're ever going to get on public transport, and that's most people, let's face it, if you're ever going to travel into town, with a newborn, you should definitely think about a sling, even if it's just now and again, or have one on you if they're a bit fussy in the buggy or whatever, because the amount of times that I see people pushing the buggy and baby in arms, I just think, get yourself a sling. It's just
they don't take up that much room if you end up not using it.
Well, no, that's it. I mean, it's definitely a travel light option, isn't it? Yeah.
And you get you got your thick ones and your thin ones.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
if you don't know what the weather's going to be like,
an array of, and also I hadn't really thought about it until I was thinking about doing this live, and I feel like if you put them in a buggy and stuff, I felt that I'd need to put them in like a pram suit when it's cold, like if it's properly cold, just because they're not getting the heat from you and stuff. Whereas if you're wearing them, you could just put your coat around them, and you don't really have to think about like the rain covers for the buggy and shades for the buggy and all of that sort of thing, because whatever you're wearing and doing, if you're wearing them on you, you can cover them, uncover them, shade them, whatever. And it is less to think about, I think, in terms of sort of what they're wearing, and partly what you're wearing as well, because they're going to keep you warm as much as you're going to keep them warm as well, especially this time of year. But anyone got any experiences? No. But how long have we been going?
29 minutes and 51 seconds.
Coming up to our half hour anyway.
Oh.
Ah,
5, 4, 3.
Not quite to the second. We don't have to do it quite to the second. But if anyone's got any questions or wants to share an experience or anything of travelling locally or abroad, or
some
whatever.
Q&A.
Yeah, we're happy to answer some questions. I don't know that anyone knows that. No.
Someone just left, in fact.
Did they? Did it go from 5 to 4?
I've given them half an hour of my time out here.
But yeah, apologies again for not being here on Wednesday. You were nearly lucky enough to have 2 ambassadors 2 nights running, but unfortunately the traffic let me down, and I was in a service station instead. Yeah, so just over 7 hours that day in traffic, not as a round trip, not as a whole block, but yeah, that was not fun.
I wasn't in the car.
No, you
wasn't. It was fun for me.
Yeah, you have a great time at home eating your fajitas on your own.
Living a dream.
Yeah, living a dream. Okay, so anyway, I mean, I hope you found it helpful that I brought Will in on this, because I actually just thought it was really nice when Louise and Jack did it, because we don't very often hear the guys' views and stuff. I don't know, maybe I should just ask you a quick question. What is your favourite thing about Babywearing when we travel or go to new places? Or...
Yeah, literally having my hands free.
Like the ease
just not having to kind of be pushing something. I think it's just it just frees you up.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like you can move around quicker as well. It's like you're suddenly in a rush. Don't want to be like pummeling down. Yeah, you just. I mean, obviously, don't know what the rules are about running full. It's not exactly full on running.
If you wouldn't,
brisk walking.
I think the rule is if you wouldn't do it with the baby in your arms, then you shouldn't do it wearing the baby. But I mean, a brisk walk or a quick jog or whatever.
I'm
would
not
do that.
Saying to a man, if you wouldn't do something with a baby, I mean, no men watching here, but I'm sure we're probably all a bit more roughhousing with the.
I was kind of just thinking, when I asked you that question, I was kind of thinking what my reply was. And one of the things I think that I find easier is when I've got a buggy, I'm rubbish at steering them. I crash into everything. I should have L plates. I'm not very good at steering a buggy. I forget how wide they are. I'm not very good at it. But also what I have found is that I tend to put things like, there's like always a pocket, or I had like a pram tidy. Don't know why I had it, because I didn't use it very often, but like that you could put things in that had little pockets, and like obviously you've got your undercarriage that you put things in and whatever. And I would always be like, what have I done with my purse? Where have I put it in this pocket? Is it under there? Is it back in the changing bag? What have I done with it? And now I tend to try and wear things with pockets, so I have all of the things that I need to get hold of, like the car key, the purse, the phone, whatever, and then I always know where those things are, so I don't very often have to take my changing bag off to find things. But I just found that with a buggy, I just didn't know where things were half the time. It didn't feel as organised, I don't think, with like a buggy or a travel system or whatever. So, is that it?
Yeah.
Hi, Alex. So I do think that we're just about to go actually, but I feel like I'm a little bit more organised and I can find things easier, I think, when I Babywear.
So I'm doing more of a workout as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I haven't got a mode on the on the watch to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do.
What is it?
Babywear.
Yeah, you should maybe have a mode for that. Yeah,
Babywear mode for extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. No, he's not. Yeah, he's so diddy. He's not heavy at all. But that is the thing that people, and in fact, I must say, because listening to Jack the other night, I was really shocked at how negative people were towards him when he was babywearing, and I've not yet experienced that when I've been out and about. I've had the odd little old lady say, "Oh, please stop, let me have a little look." Oh, you know, and that gets a little bit annoying and whatever. But I've never had anyone say, "Oh, no, you know, you shouldn't be doing that," or whatever. I do occasionally get a bit of a comment, I think, from family members like, "Oh, does it hurt your back?" Or, "Oh, you know, should you still be carrying him?" And, "Oh, why don't you go with a buggy now?" Or that sort of thing. I mean, that never terrible things, but just, yeah, that kind of, it's not the normal way, still doing it kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had any negative comments. I think everyone's been pretty like, "Oh yeah," and close your ears. But you know, when the ladies gather round and you have to get close and personal to the baby, it's a terrible thing. Didn't know that, really.
Wow, honey, wow. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I do definitely think that men, yeah, I mean, that whole Piers Morgan thing recently, I know Louise and Jack touched on it the other day, but what was he thinking saying that? I mean, definitely women find that attractive, men carrying their young. I mean, you did it tonight, didn't you? You just popped out down the Indian to pick up a naan bread and some poppadoms for the curry that we were cooking, but I've never seen a restaurant
looking so disappointed when I walk in. Can I just have 3 poppadoms and a naan bread?
But yeah, you just popped to it, didn't you? Popped down the road with my coat on over the top, just zipped him up. Yeah. He was toasty.
I do wish I had a more manly coat.
Yeah, we probably need to sort you out something actually, because I do most of the wearing, because that does become a bit of a, oh, well, you know, I've got the coats and the cardigans or whatever that do go round. So maybe we do need to get you just a massive.
Anyway, we've gone off piece slightly.
Yeah, we have. But that is still part of baby wearing when you're out and about. Yeah. Anyway, right. So I don't think we've got any other comments at all. Yeah, no. So if no one, I think we've given it enough time. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for joining us. This, I think, is probably my last live now, so as ambassador, which I've loved doing, and I'm a little bit sad that it's coming to an end, but I've got my lovely wrap, and in fact I only had this Jojo wrap, which is the Olivia Lux, when I became ambassador, so it's grown. I've got the linen ring sling, the benevolence law, and now my honeycomb halo.
I'm sure in the future you'll be getting many more.
Maybe. But yeah, no, I've loved it. I think we've got a little Christmas treat coming up for people, but yes, apart from that, I've done my Instagram takeovers, I've done my Facebook lives, and but I'll still be about on the page and stuff until the end of the year. So yeah, but thanks Bissy and Maya for having us, and thanks Lorna for your training at the beginning. Yeah, no, we've loved it, so who knows, we might apply again. We'll see. But okay, we're gonna go because I think that's it really. I think we've covered traveling and baby bearing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right, we'll see you soon. Bye.